Witcher? Witcher, whose coin did ye take? Nay, you can't. 'Tis tradition. Chosen she is, by the gods.
No! How's it going, guys? Girls, hope you guys had a great week. So I'm back today with actually a gaming news video, guys, today. And actually today I want to talk about The Witcher 4. So at the Game Awards, we got about a 6-minute cinematic trailer which showcased the game. Obviously, it's no longer known as Project Polaris. We now actually have a title which is The Witcher 4, meaning it's a direct sequel to The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. And we got a lot of information, not only in the trailer that you can kind of break down and pull apart, but also the CD Projekt Red. We had a couple of interviews that followed afterwards with PC Gamer, IGN, and also on the Friends Per Second podcast, where we got a lot more information about the game and about Ciri and about, you know, the main protagonist and everything. So this is what I want to talk about today, what we actually learned about The Witcher 4 from this trailer, and also from the interviews, and obviously my thoughts on that and my speculations going forward. Suffice it to say I am very, very excited for The Witcher 4. I'm actually incredibly excited. The Witcher is one of my favorite RPG franchises. I've done a lot of content on this channel covering the Witcher series, and I'm really looking forward to making lots of new content on The Witcher 4. So first major thing that is confirmed is that Ciri is going to be the main protagonist in the next game. We also know that this is going to be another trilogy. So this is going to be starting off a brand new trilogy of games focusing on Ciri and focusing on her journey of becoming a Witcher. Now, I personally love that decision. I actually think it makes a lot of sense. For me, I always kind of saw that happening for Ciri. That was always a natural progression in her journey, in her character arc, particularly if you've played The Witcher Wild Hunt, and also if you've read the books. It's all about Ciri. Everything revolves around Ciri, from her, you know, elder blood and source abilities to Geralt becoming a surrogate father, to her being, you know, promised to Geralt, and their meeting and their relationship being sort of, you know, something, you know, to do with destiny. So I love the fact that we're focusing on Ciri. Actually, the end of The Witcher 3 in my playthrough, the ending that I got was that Ciri did become a Witcher, that she followed on in Geralt's footsteps. Obviously, Geralt's been training Ciri for many years, from, you know, early childhood right up into adulthood, obviously with a few gaps here and there, you know, because of the events of what happened in the games and the books. But I love the fact that Ciri is going to come into her own in this trilogy. She's always wanted to be a Witcher. She's always looked up to the Witchers, you know, obviously Vesemir being, you know, a grandfather figure to her, Geralt a father figure, Yennefer a mother figure, Kaer Morhen means a lot to Ciri, and so I really like the fact that we're going to focus on her. I think it makes sense. I think it's a smart decision. Now, they have confirmed, obviously, Ciri is very different to Geralt, not only in the way that she's probably going to play, but also just in her personality, in the way that she approaches situations and makes decisions. Geralt is much older, much wiser, more cynical in his outlook, and Geralt has always followed this kind of neutral approach when it comes to most world events and things happening. He is very much there to do a job. He's there for the coin, for the money, whereas Ciri is a lot more naive. She's a lot more passionate. She makes mistakes, she makes strong decisions. I think that's going to be really interesting in terms of the story and playing that through as Ciri. So I'm very much looking forward to playing as her. I love Ciri as a character. I really enjoyed her moments in, you know, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. There were moments that we got to play as Ciri. Now, this Ciri is older. not a lot older. CD Projekt Red have confirmed that The Witcher 4 is set a few years after the events of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I think they said maybe 3 years or so after the events of that game. They have confirmed that Geralt is going to be appearing in some way, shape or form within the sequel, and that, you know, the same voice actor for Geralt will be reappearing. I would imagine as well we'll get to obviously hopefully see Kaer Morhen. I would imagine if Geralt is in it, likely Yennefer is going to be in it in some capacity as well. So for those that are familiar with the franchise, that have played through the trilogy, or even just The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, you are probably going to get to see some of those beloved characters, and they are going to tie in The Witcher 4 to the ending of The Witcher 3, because that's one of the biggest question marks on the sequel is, have they gone with a canon ending? Because in The Witcher 3, there are multiple endings depending on the decisions that you make and your choices and how you play through that game. You could have Ciri could actually die at the end of The Witcher 3. She could also choose to follow in her royal sort of destiny, so she'd become a princess. You know, obviously her father, King Emir. So, you know, you can have that happen, and also, you know, Geralt can give Ciri a silver sword called Swallow, and she becomes a witcher, and Geralt obviously encourages and trains her in that. So there are multiple potential endings to the end of The Witcher 3. CD Projekt Red have confirmed that in some way, shape or form, we don't know the details yet, but at the beginning of the game, they are going to address the ending for The Witcher 3. So whether or not you can carry forward some of your decisions, whether or not you can carry forward the world state and the choices that you made during The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, I really hope so, because I think that will make the world feel real. It'll make it feel very personal to my own experiences with The Witcher. So I kind of hope we can carry forward some of that world state, some of those decisions that we made. I don't know whether they're going to do it through a save state, or whether or not they're going to do it at the beginning where, like, maybe you fill in the blanks and you have to answer certain questions for the game to pre-populate, you know, those parts of it. So we'll obviously have to wait and see how they're actually going to do that. But it isn't set that far in the future after the events of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. So the world is going to feel quite familiar, which is really cool. I do know, though, that they are going to explore a lot of new areas, which has me really interested. This series obviously is a full-fledged, or, you know, a witcher at the beginning stages of being a witcher. So she's still kind of getting her feet, so to say, and sort of finding out what kind of witcher she is and how she's going to work. You know, Geralt is much more experienced. He's much more seasoned, so he knows what to do in certain situations and how to take on certain enemies. Whereas Ciri doesn't. You know, she's learning as she goes, and we definitely see that in the trailer. There are moments in the trailer that she tries something, it doesn't work. And then she has to kind of adapt in the combat, in the fight. And we do see that in the trailer. And I hope that translates into the combat, into the gameplay. I think that'll be really fun. But this is a witcher. Ciri, we can see from her eyes that she has the iconic yellow sort of cat-like eyes that we associate with the witches, that we associate with Geralt. So we know that this Ciri has gone through the mutagens, the trial of the grasses, which is what is needed to become a full-fledged witcher. So this Ciri is different. She's mutated in a way, and I'm very interested to see how that's going to work in terms of her elder blood and also her source abilities and powers, because Ciri is incredibly powerful. It is one of the things that we do learn through the events of the game and in the books, and she's got so much latent magical power and energy to her that is untapped. And so it's going to be interesting to see how that works with her becoming a witcher. Are the mutagens and the trial of the grasses, is that going to diffuse a lot of that source ability and damper down some of that, or will that make it easier for her to control it? Is she going to be fighting between those two sides of her nature? I'm very intrigued to see how that's going to work, not only in the story but also in the combat. We obviously got to see the two swords that she has, the silver and the steel. which is iconic. I thought her armor set looked really awesome. I liked the look of it. This series looks cool. Her combat is going to be different to Geralt. They have confirmed that. They've said obviously she's younger, so she's a lot more agile, and we definitely got to see that in the cinematic trailer through lots of leaps and flips and turns and pirouettes and things like that. So I feel like her combat might be a lot more like fluid. I thought Geralt's was pretty fluid, to be fair, because that's the style of Witcher swordsmanship. I've always felt that's a really cool aspect of the combat in The Witcher, but it looks like they're going to dial it up even further. She does use magical abilities, but the development team have confirmed it's not signs, so this is her actually tapping in to the source abilities that she has. We definitely got to see something that looked like Ard when she put like a protective barrier up. We got to see her pull on sort of the magical essence of like what looked like a waterfall, and then use that as a magical attack against the enemy. And then we even saw her use this really wicked chain which she wrapped around the beast, and then she set that on fire to cause more damage and to make it easier for her to behead that monster. So that was really cool, just really nice, cool ways of using those abilities. I really liked the cinematic trailer. It felt quite nostalgic for me as someone that's very experienced Witcher fan and player. It reminded me of the very first cinematic that we had with Geralt against it for The Witcher 1 against the Striga, because Geralt uses a chain in that cinematic trailer, and it's really awesome. It's a really cool moment in that trailer, and I think that was even taken straight from one of the short stories in the novels in the book, and so I'm really happy to see that Ciri has something similar. They have confirmed that is going to be part of the gameplay. It is going to be a mechanic that you can use in the combat, so that would be really cool. I don't know if we'll be able to use it like almost like Sekiro, where you can like pull yourself towards the enemy. Maybe you can use it to get a little bit of verticality in the combat. You can obviously clearly put magic along that to use it to do elemental damage, which is really cool. But I'm also really curious to see whether or not that has an impact upon the exploration in the game, because obviously this is probably going to be an open world Witcher title. They've said on par with the size that probably The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is, but obviously they've only just gone into production, so anything could happen going forward, obviously, when it comes to iterating on the game. And the game is going to be as big as it needs to be. They're very much, CD Projekt Red are focusing on quality over quantity, which is something that I personally really love. And I'm looking forward to experiencing more of it. But they have said they want to explore new and different ways to explore the world, to traverse across that world. So obviously in The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt you had Roach, obviously on horseback. You could also walk and run, of course, and obviously you also had the ability to go by sea on a boat. So we'll see what other, maybe Ciri's more agile, she's younger, maybe she can use the chain to pull herself up to higher purchases. Maybe Ciri still has sort of her teleportation ability, so she can teleport to certain areas that would usually be out of reach. So I'm very curious to see more, and obviously this is just a taster. It's a proof of concept. It's to set the tone for The Witcher 3, and certainly it did do that successfully. I thought the tone of the trailer was just perfect. I thought it was spot on. I really liked this whole Ciri trying to save the Mione, was it the woman in it, the sacrifice that was in the trailer, her trying to save her, and ultimately in the end failing due to the villagers and their superstitions and not being able to control everything. I like that. I think that makes the world feel real and believable and dark and flawed, and I'm all for that. So yeah, I have no concerns about the story and the tone of the game. I think it looks brilliant, and CD Projekt Red always do really well with cinematic trailers. I also have no issues with how Ciri looks. looks. I've seen some commentary online to say that she looks different or she looks ugly. I have no idea what these people are talking about. I think they're just basically doing it to troll and for clicks and for attention. So I'm just going to choose to ignore these people because they're just dumb and they probably haven't played the original games. They probably haven't played The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. They probably don't even know who Ciri is. So I'm just going to choose to ignore them. But yes, I'm very much looking forward to The Witcher 4. We don't know what the full title is, but we just know it is The Witcher 4. It went into full production 2 weeks ago, and there is a team of about 400 plus people working on it, which are made up of a mixture of both seasoned Witcher developers as well as people that worked on Cyberpunk 2077. So apparently they are going to try and pull in things that they learn from Cyberpunk, which is good. You know, it's good to learn from other genres, other games. That game did a really great job in terms of the build craft in that game for the different ways and styles of combat and how you could approach things in different scenarios. So I'll be interesting to see if they bring some of those things they've learned from Cyberpunk 2077 into The Witcher, maybe into the way that you might approach certain missions or certain contracts. I'm really looking forward to seeing where they can take that and how they can kind of push the franchise and evolve, because The Witcher 3 for me was one of, if not the best RPGs of last generation. It set the bar for me for many other RPGs. So of course, understandably, I'm very, very excited for a sequel, and I'm actually really happy that we're going to continue on the story with Ciri, that we're going to get another trilogy of games, hopefully, if it does well enough, and that it'll still be in a world that we know, that we love, and obviously there will still be references and character appearances and things for people that we know. So I love that. I'm very excited, and everything I've heard about for The Witcher 4 sounds promising and sounds exciting. So it's pretty much everything that we learn about The Witcher 4 so far, as well as my thoughts on the trailer and everything. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you excited for The Witcher 4? What are you hoping to see? What are your predictions for The Witcher 4? Let me know in the comment section below. Let's get a discussion going. Let's get excited for The Witcher 4. It's a few years away though, guys. Like, it's probably 3 or 4 years away tops. So we got plenty of time, and it also gives me plenty of time to go back and play The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt again, because it has been a few years since I've played that game. And 100% I am going to be doing probably a story so far video on it to get you all caught up on it, for those that haven't played The Witcher 3. And I probably am going to be doing some lore videos and lore content. I've got lots of ideas of different, helpful lore videos to introduce you to the world and the different factions and the different rules and things like that. Like, the world of The Witcher is just so fascinating. So I have plans that I'm planning over the next couple of years, so please do look forward to that content. I'm sure it'll be coming when it's ready, of course. Also to let you know, I have finished my playthrough of Dragon Age the Veilguard. I 100%ed the game. I got about 65 hours in. I 100%ed everything, got excellent on all the factions, did all the side quests, got all my companions up to Hero of the Veilguard, and I got the best ending in the game. And so yeah, I've finished the game, so now it's just a case of me taking some time to reflect on it before I can actually get my thoughts down to paper and get a review out to you guys. So likely I'm probably Thursday or Friday, I'm free in the evening, so I'm probably going to try and get some of my thoughts down, maybe record it over the weekend, and then obviously start editing it and cutting it together. So that will definitely be up before the end of the year to share my thoughts on Dragon Age the Veilguard. So please do look forward to that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, taking the time out of your busy lives, especially with Christmas coming. So I really appreciate any time and appreciate you watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hope you guys are having a great week, of course. Take care, and as always, happy gaming. I should go.
No gods here. There are only monsters.